Cruise line glossy brochures and their adverts promise a carefree and trouble-free vacation, but they don't tell the whole story. There are several important things that can and do significantly impact us as passengers that the lines seem reluctant to talk about or be upfront about. Welcome aboard, I'm Gary Bembridge, and join me as I unmask 5 unspoken things that directly affect us all and why I believe you need to know more about them. Most passengers assume that everything on the ship is operated by the cruise line itself. However, this is far from the truth. Several high-profile onboard facilities and activities are run by third-party contractors. This has significant implications for us passengers because buried deep in the cruise contract, cruise lines say they will not accept liability for those contractors' activities, even if we have serious issues with them. One that surprises many is that on several lines the medical centres are run by third parties. While lines that are part of the Carnival Corporation Norwegian Cruise Group and Royal Caribbean Group appear to have their own cruise line operated medical centres, some other major lines have them staffed and run by external companies like Vicand, Vanta Cruise Health Services and Marine Medical Solutions. At the time of recording, lines including Viking, Virgin Voyages, Ritz-Carlton, Saga, Azamara, Crystal, Disney, Windstar and Seadream are some of those listed as clients of those companies. Almost all cruise lines contract out their spas and fitness centres, and most to a company called One Spa World. Based on their website, they currently operate spas for 21 cruise lines. This includes Carnival, Celebrity, Crystal, Cunard, Holland America, Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania, Princess, Royal Caribbean, Seabourn, and so on. Despite the unique branding of each line's spa, such as Lotus Spa on Princess and Mandara Spa on Norwegian, they are all run by that same company. The spa staff, who do not work with the cruise line, rely heavily on commissions from selling products and upselling services to us passengers. Hence that heavy sell at the end of every treatment and the constant push to buy treatment packages. In one of her posts about her time working as a massage and beauty therapist in ship spas, Lucy, who runs Cruising as Crew YouTube channel and blog, said, "It is very sales driven. You'll be given targets and expected to hit them. This comes from the expectation that you will sell something to every guest that you have." Other than MSC Cruises, it seems the shops on most cruise ships are not operated by the lines themselves. Instead, third-party companies run them too. The two main ones are LVMH's Starboard Cruise Services that run shops for 15 lines, including Celebrity, Carnival, Holland America, Royal Caribbean and Virgin Voyages. The other is the UK-based Harding Plus, which runs shops for 14 lines, including Cunard, Fred Olsen, Oceania, Princess, Pinot Cruises and Regent. This means that the staff in those shops are not employed by the cruise line, but by those companies, and their salary is largely commission-based. This explains the frequent promotions and constant sale events on board. Additionally, those port shopping advisors on Caribbean, Alaska and Mediterranean sailings who give talks with prize draws for attending, free gifts, collectibles, and also provide shopping maps of the recommended shops in port are also not employed by the cruise line. They work for companies like LVMH's Onboard Media and PPI Selling at Sea, and the cruise lines receive significant fees for those arrangements from the stores that pay to take part and then commissions from the sales. Surprisingly, many lines do not hire their own photographers nor run their own photoshops, and these are also run by contractors on many lines. Hence, again, while photographers are often pretty pushy about taking our photographs because they're very reliant on generating sales. Speaking to onboard photographers, they confirmed to me that they earn a small basic salary and most of their earnings come from taking loads of photos of us and encouraging us to buy them and, of course, selling us photo packages. I think many passengers do realize that cruise lines do not run the art auctions and sales on board, as the two main companies running them do make it pretty clear they're not part of the cruise line. These are Park West, that are on most lines, and the UK-based Clarendon Fine Art, which is on Cunard and P&O. But again, as with the others, it means you're not dealing with the cruise line if you have any issues. Most cruisers don't appreciate that they're being recorded and can be tracked constantly. Cruise ships are equipped with extensive surveillance systems, including CCTV cameras in every public area all the corridors. The only areas on most ships not covered by cameras are inside the cabins, inside restrooms, and of course spa changing rooms. Most lines also use sophisticated facial recognition technology to identify passengers. The photo that we take at check-in, or the one that we submit when checking in online, is used by this to make the system work. It does then everything from identifying us in photos that the ship photographer takes, so we can basically find any photos by entering our cabin number on those screens in the photo center. It does things like identifying individuals involved in or witness to an incident, and in some cases it's used for checking passengers on and off the ship. Some cruise lines like Princess Cruises have taken tracking a step further with their wearable Princess Medallion device. This not only opens the cabin door, it allows us to order and charge drinks and onboard purchases to our cabin, but also tracks our location around the ship and enables crew to address us by name because it flashes up the picture and our name on their devices or at the restaurant check-in desk when we approach it. On your next cruise, I encourage you to look up and around, and you'll be surprised just how many CCTV cameras you see everywhere. And remember that while they may not be on your balcony, CCTV cameras do have visibility on them, something you should consider if you're thinking of any adult or nude sunbathing activity out on your balcony. There is, though, one surveillance technology that most cruise ships do not have, but many feel they should. It appears that very few ships have man overboard detection systems. These systems, which use thermal cameras and micro radars, are designed to detect when someone has gone overboard. They cost around $200,000 per ship to install, according to one of the companies that makes them, the Mars's Mobitronic system. Cruise lines are reluctant to comment or say how many ships do have them, but the most recent reports I could find claim that only 30 ships, all from Carnival and Disney, have these systems installed. There are over 300 cruise ships sailing. Data from CLIA, the Cruise Line International Association, reports that between 19 and 25 people do go overboard every year. So without these systems, cruise lines can only confirm and react after being notified of a man overboard incident, and then of course confirming by reviewing CCTV footage and of course anyone citing incidents. Passengers from different countries often receive very different treatment when booking cruises. This includes fares, fare inclusions and exclusion, booking terms, deposits, and final payment terms. This is largely driven by different rules, regulations, cultural differences, and market and competitive norms, or even focused by the cruise lines. For example, USA residents have the option of refundable deposits, but UK residents booking in the UK never have that option. US residents booking a Cunard Queen's Grill suite, for example, at the time of making this, has the drinks package included in the fare, but any other country resident does not and have to buy a separate drinks package. But on the other hand, UK residents booking a Viking cruise have normal 90-day final balance payments, while in the United States, it appears they usually have to be paid up to a year before the cruise. Australians booking a cruise will have gratuities included in the fare because tipping is not part of their culture. I could go on and quote many, many more examples because there's so many cases where the lines have different perks, terms and conditions, and fares based on the country you reside in. Now, most lines will also only allow us to book a cruise with an agent in the country that we reside in. And even if, say, due to exchange rate changes, we can see a fare for a cruise that we want to book is more attractive to book in another country, cruise lines will not allow us to do this. When we book a cruise, we automatically accept the cruise line terms and conditions in their cruise contract. But few of us ever read the small print, which, if you do, you'll discover contains some rather surprising things that they keep hidden. For example, we agree the cruise line can search our baggage, person and cabin at any time they want. They can confine us to our cabin or in the ship's brig, which is the onboard prison, with no compensation for a range of reasons, suspected norovirus, COVID, or of course, in the case of the brig, disruptive or criminal behavior. We also agree that we can be disembarked at our own cost if the captain decides we should for any reason. Importantly, they also say that they can change itineraries or not call on advertised ports if they deem it necessary for any reason, again, without compensation. I get contacted frequently by upset passengers that a key port they booked the cruise for is dropped or could not be called on. Of course, this can be out of the control of the cruise line due to severe weather, or as is in the case as I make this, lines can't stop into San Juan due to unplanned pier repairs. but it could also be for sudden financial or other reasons that happen. So for example, as I record this, lines are abruptly dropping according to some Icelandic ports following a sudden addition of new fees. Some lines say that they can take photographs and video images of us and may even use them in marketing or advertising material without paying us. But at the same time, some say that they can stop or restrict us taking photographs or videos on their ships. This actually happens, not often, but it does. For example, the vloggers Ben and David of Cruise with Ben and David have spoken in the past about being stopped filming on MSC cruises. Some lines even say they can require us to take down images or posts that we've placed on social media or on blogs. Now, my friend Sarah was once asked to take a post down, much to her shock, after she'd posted some issues on a maiden voyage that she was on. There is one area that is full of surprises and things the lines do not talk about much when it comes to the cruise ship crew. For example, I was shocked to discover from a senior officer on a recent cruise that on many lines, people doing the same job on a ship get paid different salaries based on which country they come from and the prevailing wages in those countries. To find out more about this and other things you probably don't know about cruise ship crew, join me over in this video. See you over there.